Welcome to Scream Alive, your channel for horror stories. Today's story is titled The Intruder from the Charleston Café, a vacation turned into a nightmare. My name is Anna. After weeks of planning, my friend Lena and I, two broke college students, booked a cheap apartment through Airbnb in Charleston's historic district. It seemed like the perfect start to my first spring break since becoming of legal drinking age. On the third night of our stay, while we were having dinner at a small seafood restaurant, my phone buzzed with a strange message from an unknown number. Hi. I ignored it at first, thinking it was just a prank, but another message arrived a few minutes later. Look outside. I froze in my seat. I looked out the window, but saw nothing out of the ordinary. The street was full of people walking around normally. A feeling of unease crept into my heart. I told Lena, who tried to reassure me that it was just a joke. But all the fear I had been trying to suppress exploded when another message arrived, saying just one word. Anna, this wasn't just a wrong number. This person knew my name. Lena suddenly remembered that we had entered a contest at a local cafe on our first day in town, where they had asked for our names and phone numbers. That was the only reasonable explanation. Dinner was no longer enjoyable. I felt like we were completely exposed. We left the restaurant and went to a rooftop bar, trying to forget about it. After a few drinks, I started to relax, but the calm didn't last long. I received another message, this time even more terrifying. That's a nice red jacket. My blood ran cold. I was wearing a red jacket, and I was one of the few people wearing that color in the crowded bar. I looked around frantically, but no one was obviously watching me. I showed Lena the message, and she immediately said we had to leave. We returned to our Airbnb apartment with extreme caution, locking the door and securing all the locks, curtains, and windows, trying to convince ourselves that we were overreacting. But the tension remained. After about an hour, we felt hungry. Neither of us wanted to go out, so we ordered a meal from Uber Eats. The estimated wait time was 50 minutes. As we tried to distract ourselves by watching TV, we heard a knock on the door. I looked at my phone and saw a notification that the driver had arrived, but I felt confused. Uber Eats drivers don't usually knock on the door. I looked through the peephole and saw a large man wearing a hoodie carrying our food bag. He looked like a normal delivery driver, but he didn't leave the food and leave. After a few moments, he knocked on the door again and said loudly, "Uber Eats for Anna." I said, "Thanks, you can leave it there," but he didn't move. After a long, suspicious silence, he said, "I need you to come out and sign something quickly." This wasn't right at all. Something was very wrong. Lena immediately grabbed her phone and called the police. Talking to him out loud was a huge mistake because after that, he started banging on the door even harder, then shaking the doorknob violently. He started yelling my name and banging on the door. We were afraid he would break down the door at any moment, but suddenly I heard a siren coming from far away and the banging stopped. I heard the bag of food fall on the balcony, followed by quick footsteps running away from the house. We rushed to the window just in time to see two officers tackle the masked man to the ground and handcuff him. The police came to our house, and we explained everything to them, including the suspicious text messages. Thanks to Lena's quick call, a police patrol was nearby. They took our statements, and our theory about the cafe was confirmed. He had been working there and had taken our information from the contest form. He had been following us ever since. The police's theory was that he had followed us from the bar and waited outside the house. When the Uber Eats driver arrived, he convinced him to deliver the food, perhaps pretending to be my friend. It turned out that the man had a violent criminal record, which made the situation even more terrifying. I was relieved when it was time to leave Charleston. I still wonder about his plan and what would have happened if we had opened the door. If you like the video, subscribe to the channel.